What's going on, traders? What is going on? The market is moving. Nvidia earnings are out. I know that you guys got a lot of questions. Let's go ahead. Let's find all this out on Money Mitch and more. But first things first, say hello in the chat. I'll see you there. Let's start it up. Welcome to Money Mitch.
It's time for Money Making Mitch. When investors need a story, we're going to the moon. Welcome to Money Mitch, where story is everything. I'm here to find you the next opportunity. It's all about the green hands. Now we all know the bull market is here to stay. Money Mitch.
What's going on out there, traders? How we doing? Let's go ahead. Let's dive right in. Let me know in the chat if you guys are watching a stock here after the close, and if there's any any earnings that is on your radar. I'll definitely touch the Nvidia earnings. We're going to get into that, but first things first, what did the Fed say, and really what happened? I mean, really, what happened, guys? I mean, all right, so let's get into it. So here we have it. As you guys look into the minutes, one thing that you'll definitely see is the Federal Reserve really agreeing that inflation really is tightening, and you're seeing that growth. One thing that the Fed wants to do is really gain control. Some of them are calling for the repurchase, the purchase assets to kind of really get off the table faster. Some want them to completely stop doing purchases before the March time. And one thing that I also saw on here is that we're going to continue seeing what? We're going to continue seeing that inflation is riding high right now. And the question is, how fast can they either what? Take the assets off the balance sheet. So that's another thing that was mentioned. How are they actually going to go ahead and do this, and how fast of a pace they want to go about this? I think this is very important, because one thing is, like we talked about, like, is stopping hitting the buy button. Another thing is, of course, hitting that sell button, because when you sell, of course, you're going to put downward side pressure. If we continue to sell and get off those 7 trillion in assets, what is going to happen to the overall market? Let's take a look here how we reacted at 2 p.m. here at the open here, at the kind of the open of those comments when they were released. Right after this, on this 205 candle, you got a nice pop on up. Let's get towards the 1 minute here so you guys can see a little bit closer. And you can see how we got into a little bit of a chop right out the gates. It went up and down. Then we held that low there, got back up above the 443. And then you could see we were starting to hold that 443 on the sideways action. We've talked about that 443.50. It started holding well there. It went sideways for a while, then really took off to the next resistance, which was up there towards 446. Now that we're above the 446, that's the level that I'm looking for it to continue to hold. You can see how we popped above that, went all the way up to 447.50. And now in the after hours, we're right back down into these areas. And so you got to be careful with that 446. If that can hold, I'm not going to be looking bearish tomorrow. But if this starts breaking down, we can go right back into the mode that we were just in. Of course, mentioned today, there was comments about Russia. Are they pulling back? Are they not? I think this is the next catalyst to definitely keep on watch. We'll see what happens. False alarm, not yet. I mean, the dumpster fires were potentially in the works, and it just didn't come out there. I thought we were going to get maybe comments of, like, that we wanted to do that 0.5 rate hike. We didn't get comments like that. It was kind of a back and forth. One thing that I can see is that I feel like that right now. I feel like some on the Fed are trying to be faster than others. And one thing that I've always said about the Fed is that I feel like they go to extremes. What do I mean by extremes? Is that if we take a deeper look and we see how they reacted in the pandemic, they went really fast in kind of supporting, right? In the monetary policy, they went really quickly trying to help the economy. I think they're going to do the same thing here and go really quickly, probably even too far, to try to fight this inflation. And so this is why I'm paying attention until March. That March meeting is going to be so important. The real question is, how much of it is priced in already? That's where I'm really starting to think. And what I'm thinking here is I feel like the market has already priced in a 0.25 kind of rate hike, but are we going to get that 0.5? That's the one that I think could really knock us down and change this whole game up. We could be really in a different position if that is going to go ahead and happen in March. Let's go ahead. Let's get into the earnings. I know you guys are like, what? Fed this, Fed that. Whatever they say, at the end of the day, it's about their actions, right? What do they raise and what do they not? This is what we're going to be paying attention to. I've seen comments of 7 potential raises this year. I don't think we're going to get that. I mean, I think that's insane to be even kind of getting to those levels, but that's what's said. And we'll see what happens with the Fed. Inflation is here. The Fed is late like usual. I do agree. I think they're late on inflation, on acting on inflation, but you got to understand where they were, right? They pumped a lot of money into this, and they were going to make sure that if that pump was going to keep them up. And I think that that's what they were looking at. They weren't really worried about the 2%. They say, oh, well, we're worried about the 2%. No, they weren't even thinking about the 2%. They weren't worried about that. They were just trying to get the economy back on up. Now they're going to really start fighting back. And I think that they're going to really fight back because inflation, it just seems like a monster right now, a beast that is untamed. And we'll see what happens if we can get it. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get into Nvidia here. And what did we get in the earnings? So I'm going to go ahead and pull up Benzinga Pro here. You can see why I don't like trading earnings. Look how this Nvidia went up there to 278, down to 252, back up there to 276. It's just a chop fest, guys. It's dangerous to trade these earnings trades. If you guys want to trade these, by all means, I wish you the best of luck. Make the most money. Just keep me out of it, guys, because one thing that I've seen is that earnings, even though you might have a beat, doesn't mean that you get a beat on the price. And so let's go ahead. Let's take a look and see what we got in the earnings here. All right, looks like we got Nvidia. I'm going to go ahead and stop this screen. I'm going to share my top screen here. All right, so we got here Nvidia. We're going to talk about their Q4 adjusted EPS here of $1.32, beat a $1.22 estimate. Sales of $7.64 billion, beat a $7.42 billion estimate there. So you can see a beat and a beat, right? And so let's go ahead. Let's see what are the things we got here on the Pro that kind of lead us to this. Well, looks like right there. look how we dipped on the. And then we rise, and then we dip. It's just all over the place, guys. This is why you got to be really careful with what you put out on earnings. I know a lot of people try to put that they're rising or going down, but as you can see, this is pretty choppy. I honestly wouldn't say this is going up or down. It's kind of in sideways kind of movement here. We'll take a look to see if we see any guidance talk. I don't see anything mentioned right now. I know that the conference earning call is today, so definitely stay tuned for the conference earning. I know that's going to start up. I think it starts at 5 o'clock. I'm not sure if we should be streaming that Nvidia one, so just stay tuned, guys. That's going to be right on after. All right, let's keep going to some other earnings here. Cisco is supposed to report also, so let's take a look there. CSCO. And did we get the earnings on out here? Don't see the earnings there. All right, I went to the wrong one. That's why. There we go. Cisco reported. Also looks like issued Q3 guidance. It's trading higher after better than expected Q2 EPS. Let's get those exact numbers here. So it sees right here adjusted EPS at 85 and 87 cents versus an 86 cents estimate. So not a crazy beat on the EPS. Sales growth of 3 to 5% year over year. Full year 2022 adjusted EPS of 3.41 to $3.46. Above the estimate there of $3.42 estimate. So not too bad there. I mean, nothing crazy. I'm pretty sure this guidance was probably serious that you guys can look into. I haven't looked into a little bit into that guidance, so I'll take a little look at that. As you guys can see right here, this is probably what stands out to me right here. So it looks like we got 15 billion in added to the buybacks. So that's definitely going to affect the stock, as you guys are seeing buyback on Cisco, and keep on moving. All right, some other stocks that are making moves too off of earnings. You guys can take a look at Applied Materials, SunPower, Fisker, DoorDash, Matterport, Hyatt Hotels. The one that I wanted to take a look at was Hyatt. Wanted to see how kind of these lodging stocks are doing. So let's take a look there and see how the reopening trade there is. Looks like we're actually down on the trade there. I'm going to actually put up my charting because let's go ahead. Let's get out of the earnings here. Earnings aren't my most exciting thing. I'll just let you guys know. I don't pay too much attention. Did we take a look at Dash? I could take a look at Dash for you. It really wasn't on my high end to kind of take a look at. It's not really my favorite thing to look at, just earnings calls, because I'll be honest, guys, I don't think there's edge there. And so with that, I try to stay away. But the recap of the earnings, I'll pull it up here for us on DoorDash here. Q4 earnings for DoorDash, and I'll put Dash here on the left-hand side. Let me go ahead and just put that up there so you can see the stock chart, see how it's trading right now. Looks like we're trading on up there. It's holding, trying to get up there towards the 120s. Let's recap here. Earnings missed the estimate earnings by, looks like 66%, reporting an EPS of a loss of 45 cents versus an estimate of 27 cents. Revenue was up 330 million for the same period last year, and it looks like last quarter they missed by EPS of 4 cents. Man, that seems a little bit surprising for me that it's going on up if they missed estimated earnings by that much. So I got to go ahead and check up on that earnings report there on Dash, why it's moving on up. To me, it is moving fast, but I mean, where is this going to go? We'll see what happens. DoorDash, of course, pushing back. Where could it kind of get towards? This has actually gotten below the IPO price. So look for maybe some resistance coming into that IPO kind of low time where you were banging on there in January. So I'd say up towards 136 is what I see. This is a big candle there. You got some now resistance that you just went through it on the daily around 116. So I'd look for that 116, definitely hold, and you can see how it kind of get above here about that 116. Now you're really holding it on this 5-minute candle. We'll see if that can really start getting on up there. As you can see, you went right below it, then started holding it and broke out from that level. That's the level I'd be watching, 116, 18s there on Dash. All right, we'll see if Dash can continue moving. I'll get on out of here for the earnings reports. Like I said, you guys can take a look at some of these, of course, like Applied Materials. Let's see where this is trading at right now. Looks like you're trading sideways. You did make a move on up there for a second there. Let's look at SPWR. You can take a look at that. You can see it's trading actually down on that. MTTR, Matterport, one of the favorites in the metaverse, and you can see it's taking a hard beating there. So just be careful out there. Trip is the only leisure name to miss so far, Jay says. Well, as you can see, Trip definitely taking a hit there. That's crazy because I was actually looking at Trivago as for a trade. We've talked about it here. It's kind of getting me a little concerned about Trivago if Trip is taking that hard of a hit there. So be careful there with Trivago. All right, let's go to sectors. Let's look at what was hot, what was not today. Of course, energy leading the way, guys, having a monster push. I was talking about how you did get 2 days of pullback in oil, but I was looking for a push on up. It was actually the trade of the day, talked about on live trading, which was MRO. This was a day trade that we took, and wow, was it a good one here, guys. We took this one and killed it. We were looking at it right out the gates here. It popped on up. We started filling up in here at the 2090s. Once we started recovering, we actually sold into the first pop, sold half of the position up there at 2119s, getting the first profit. And then when it came back towards the break even, we actually stopped on out. And then we started seeing volume collect in here. That's when I took my shot again, taking a shot here at the 2104s, then taking a shot at 21, getting towards that 2103 kind of entry there. And then we were looking for a push out through that 2120. We actually didn't take profit there. We got through that level. Then we started taking some profit at 2130s, eventually taking our last profit up there after the rejection to continue through the 50. Right here is where I ended up taking that last little bit on MRO. And I'm going to put this full screen so you guys can see this a little better. And you guys can see that right there. We started turning around. So I said, you know what? I didn't see that continuation through the 2150s. I'm going to get on out. Took the trade off, and this actually continued to go and ended up going up there closer towards 2165s, and now it's trading actually down closer towards that 2112s. But I'm going to actually be looking for the same kind of move tomorrow for this to continue moving. If you take a look here on the hourly, you can see another trend line. We'll see if this can come back and take this out tomorrow and get back up there towards the 2150s. This was a great day trade there. I hope you guys were able to catch that one live on live trading. If you guys don't know, we do have a live trading show that's on this channel, Benzinga, every day except Friday. So smash that like and let's keep going. All right. May with the like, of course, have to hit the like, guys. MRIN news with TikTok. Interesting. TikTok news there. Marion Software, yeah, it's ripping in after hours. Xavier, a good one to mention. I'll definitely keep watching this tomorrow. Where's the resistance for me? 523. I have a line already drawn, so I'm just going to go off of that. For right now, I'll be watching this one for pullbacks towards 406 tomorrow, but we'll see this one and definitely have it on radar on live trading. Let's go ahead. Let's keep going through here. But Mitch, what are we going to take a look at for tomorrow? Smash the like. All right, let's go ahead. Let's do. So let's see what are we seeing today? So basic materials is something that I've been watching, right? And so we've been looking to see what's going to happen and continue to move in basic materials. As you guys can see, we had about 3 days of pullback. Now we're starting to really start lifting again. And what are some of these materials that are moving? Aluminum has continued to run. We've talked about this. This is the inflationary trade right here. So a lot of times I'm doing sector to industry analysis. So sector, basic material, then I see that looking strong. So then I go into the industries. What looks strong here? Aluminum standing out. What is a strong aluminum stock? AA. And right now, CNX, one that we've been watching for a while since this 1936 break. We're already at 2140s and keep pushing here in CNX. All right, another area where I've been watching. You guys know how I've been all about this. I've been saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it because I think it's the hot trade to watch. I think we're going to continue seeing lift in it. So you know what? I love gold, guys. I want to keep going and seeing if this CNX can keep, if gold can keep pushing on up here. This is the index. We've been watching this index since this move down here. We've talked about the rule of three. This was the buy zone that we just got above. Now we're above resistance. We pulled back underneath that trend line. Now we held back above it. Let's take a look at some of these stocks and which ones you can be trading. Look at this GOLD. We've been talking about this one for multiple days since this breakout here at 19s, where we were looking for a move towards 20s. Now we're up there towards 22, 24s. Looking good there in that GOLD. Today, what other ones had a good day in gold? THM's another one I'm going to put on your radar. This is the penny stock, guys. I know that a lot of stocks, a lot of people don't talk about penny stocks, but if I see them moving, hey, I'm going to call them out here. THM gold penny stock, guys, trying to get through that 90-cent level. Maybe it makes a move towards $1 tomorrow. I'm going to definitely keep that one on radar, and we'll see what happens. Let's look at some other ones here like HMY. Keep getting a bounce off that support, could start moving. This one looks more like a laggard type of trade that's missing out on the move and now could start moving. One that I've been looking at, and I'll try to go ahead and kind of let you guys know, my swing trade AU. I've been kind of holding on to this one, letting this one work here. It did have a good opening candle, but then really started turning back around. We'll see if this can come back and take out 2175s, where we kind of slowed down today. and we'll see if we can get back up there and get towards 22 tomorrow. We're still in the green in this trade. I'm not upset about it, but hey, I thought it would move a little bit higher than that. I thought it'd be closing up there by the 21.77s. All right, we'll keep an eye out on some of these gold trades. Definitely keep on watch. Silver also having a good day. Industrial metals also having a good day. And for that being mentioned, I've been talking about some lithium plays. LAC having a good day today, pulling on back a little bit here near the close, but we'll continue to watch this one. PLL is another one that I've been wanting to watch. Why? Because it's been in sideways consolidation. Now starting to push on up on the daily chart. I'm going to keep this one on my radar. We have a risk spot about $50 to just go off of, so you can use 50 right there. And we're going to look to see if this one can continue on up there towards 54s. And then from there, it could get up there towards 60. And that's a good move. PLL is one that I'd give. That's a lithium play. All right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's keep going, guys. New goal, 10 minutes, 69. Yeah, let's go. Hit them likes, guys. I need 100 likes today, guys. If not, I mean, come on, guys. This is what I'm here for. Black Rifle Coffee Company. What is that? SBA? Which is that one? Which one's the black coffee one? Can you guys give me the ticker again, Bubba? I usually know that one, but I haven't been taking about that one. Not selling MRO, says Hertz. Hey, can't blame you on that. Talk M3. What's up, man? All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at some other trades out there. What can you be watching? Copper also having a good day. You can see building materials also starting to push on up there a little bit. Wood and lumber production is the one that I'm going to be looking for a big breakout. I've been looking at this FWG. It's been going and battling between the 100 zones. I think you eventually get a nice breakout on this one. This is one that I definitely think you have to give yourself enough range in. So you got to understand that it's been stuck in between these ranges, 99 and pretty much 94. And so you have to give yourself a little bit of range, but I think this one, once it gets back above 100, could continue to run. This is WFG, and this is a lumber trade. SBEA. That's what it is. I wasn't too far off. It was this one. We'll continue to watch it. It's not something that I'd continue to trade, but hey, up to you guys, whatever you guys like. Jim letting us know. Jim knows a little bit more. That's why I kind of mentioned there. WFG has wider spreads. I agree, Jim. So one thing that I would say with WFG, those are the type of stocks that you really need to do what? To get an advantage, you want to level your orders. What I mean by leveling my orders is, let's say if I want to get in at 99.50, right? And the stock is trading at, let's say, 99.80s. I actually, instead of just trying to put all my share size at that 50, I'm going to put it down leveling. And I'm going to put it in different areas where I can see the support go to. And you can use those different areas so that if the spread starts opening up wide and it gets into that area, you might get some fill, but you won't get all your fills. And then you're looking for the offer to drop probably below it really quickly. Then you get those scoop kind of fills on up. That's kind of how you be your best way to attack a stock like this, especially if you're noticing the wideness and the volatility, because it goes up, down, up, down. So you got to be careful when you're doing stocks like this. I always talk about if the spread is too wide and you don't feel comfortable getting in the trade, and it's because of the spread, then maybe you're too high in share size and you got to readjust your emotions to lower down that share size. Give yourself an ability to get around that first kind of wave of emotion and then look for the next move on up. So with WFG, that would be like taking a trade like this. So I'll do it how I would take a look. So if I'm looking for a move back up through 100, and I'll go ahead and I'll put this full screen so you guys can really take a look at this. So I see what? I see 1, 2, 3 times to try to get through that 99.50. I'm going to look for the pullback one more time because it's okay for it to pull back, right? And so you see higher and higher lows. So I'm going to look for a pullback into this area and then look for the push back above 100. So for me, I would be leveling on orders there at, let's say, 98.50, then 98, 97.50, 97. So that by the time I get filled, I'm actually closer to around, let's say, I would say if we got it down towards that 97, we'd be closer towards 97.75. So you're near the bottom of this range versus the top. And it gives you an ability to really kind of measure your risk all the way down there versus just trying to catch it and all in one share size and then getting caught. It's hard. I'm telling you, this is not an easy one. And I'm kind of just explaining about how to best go about it. And I even struggle with it, guys. Year over year, when I see stocks that have huge spreads, I try to stay away. Today, I'll show you guys a perfect example. And you guys can take a look at it. Match was one that I was looking to short today. And the reason I didn't take it is because the spread was about a whole point. It was a whole point, and the stock was only trading about what, a 1.37 average true range. So if the spread is anywhere near that average true range, that should already be a warning flag to you and be like, hold on, the volatility in this stock, the stock is only moving $1.37 and the spread is almost a whole dollar wide. You got to be careful with names like that because you could get caught on both sides. All right, let's go ahead. Let's keep going. I want to get into some other stocks. I know that we talked a little bit there longer on lumber. One area that I would start pointing out to you, I always try to find the rotations, right? One thing you're going to hear me do is always try to catch up with the rotations. Try not to miss them, right? And so here's another one that a lot of people probably are not watching. And I'm going to definitely start pointing out here. It's not only the reopening trades. It's not only gold. It's not only oil. Here's a new one here, putting it on alert, financial services. Why? Because one thing that's imminent and we got in the Fed minute today is what? Rate hikes are coming, guys, and they want to curb inflation. Get ready. Bank stocks, I think, could start moving off of this. This could start getting a trigger on those types of trades. I always try to be a little bit quicker to the rotation just because I want to kind of keep an eye on it. So right now, I'm going to pull this alert right now. It doesn't mean go crazy on financial stocks tomorrow, but put them on your watch list and do your own assessment and look at it. See if you're seeing what I'm looking and if you're seeing a pattern in financial services. If you got a financial service stock and you want to take a look at it, throw it up in the chat. I'll go ahead and drop right into it. We got about 2 minutes left here. So I'm going to go about a couple minutes in overtime, but I need you guys to hit the like. So if we don't get 100 likes, I'm going to just wrap it up here at 5. But if we do, I'll keep going. All right, let's go ahead. Let's see what we see here in this financial services. So this is the candle that really stands out to me. You guys will always hear me talk about the rule of 3. The rule of 3 for me, 3 attempts to break through the high. On the 4th one, we look for the breakout. There's 1, there's 2. We just got a recent Harmy right up there to that level. Now we're going to look for that real breakout out here for that push on out. Let's look for what stocks could be kind of setting on up in sideways consolidation or maybe off the support that we could be looking for. Okay, so I'm going to start with the biggest, right? Because I think that's the easiest way to start is to start big, right? And so you can look here at JPM. This is Morgan Chase. And here you can see here that what do you see? You see bottoming action and you're starting to see what? A couple highs. Let's see if we get back on through and get on up here towards the 158. That would be kind of that trigger that, okay, we're pushing back on there. Let's take a look at another one here, Visa. Visa looks like it's setting on up too. I don't like all the payment stocks, but Visa is one that I will say, hey, this has been holding up since that recent decline in December. We went on up there. Yeah, we went through a decline right before the beginning of February, but you can see we recovered strong since then, and Visa could go ahead and push on up and start breaking on out. BAC is another one to keep on radar. We'll see if it gets back on up there. 46.87 is a level that I'd look for on the downside. Around there in the 47 area, I'd be looking for maybe a little dip buy to see if I could catch these. I'm going to keep a lot of these on radar. There's a lot to watch, like let's say WFC. Nice little pullback. It's going on back here, just sideways. Could just take on off there tomorrow and get towards the 60s. Another one to keep on. You could watch Citigroup. Look at this one. I really like this pattern. If you take a look here on the weekly. You're going to see some bottoming action. You see the 200-day below it. If we can get up here into the 70 range, put a big bullish engulfing candle tomorrow. So let's say if we get a big kind of green candle tomorrow to get on up there towards, let's say, 69 or 70s, this is going to be looking good for that upside potential move. Hope you guys enjoyed me getting into stocks that have potential moves. Like always, do your own investment decisions, and this is for educational purposes only. Now we got stocks from the chat. I do see BAC mentioned, AXP as a favorite there. So American Express, yeah, that's looking good. Look at the weekly on that. Daily setting on up. This one looks like it's leading Visa. So keep your eyes on American Express as being one of those that's leading there. PayPal, oh man, I'll tell you one thing. I've been talking about how you shouldn't take a shot in PayPal, but even I feel like biting my words a little bit there. Since I'm looking at this move, what I'm going to do is just put it on radar. I know my rules. I'm not going to jump into PayPal here, but like always, guys, make your own investment decisions. I will put it on radar, though, to let us know if we do get a big pop in PayPal. Smash that like. Let's go. GSY does subprime lending in Canada, says Beso. Let me take a look at that. GSY. I'll take a look at that. It doesn't look too bad, but this has just been too much of a decline for me to attack. I definitely wouldn't be going after a stock like this. And it just doesn't have much range, too. Nothing that I'd be going after there. All right, let's go ahead. Let's take it to some stocks in the chat. What a room. Zen Bullish 101 on the come up. Let's go. Smash that like. Let's go. All right, AG. Let's take a look there. AG. This is a silver stock there, so it's looking like it's starting to push there. Looks good. Looks like you got off that 10-10 level. I would put a horizontal line off this, and now you want to start holding 1155s. Let's pull it back towards 1135s. Make sure that you're holding and clearing above there, because if you can see here, one thing you're running into is if you draw a trend line from this pop on up, you can see how you ran into that. You don't want to get back into this zone here, into this 1150. You want it to kind of pop up there and start pushing towards that 200-day. And if it does call back here, make sure that it holds at 1135. AG, we'll see. It probably will move close to gold. I know that a lot of people are looking at silver, but let's keep going. Guess you never traded booking $3 stocks and spreads all day. And Jay, you got me, bro. Never traded booking. That's just way too much, man. $3 spread, $3 plus the spread all day. I mean, I can't handle that. If you can, I don't know how, man. I'd have to go such low share size for me not to feel the pressure. But let's keep going. Banks are set for another good year. It says riff raff. I mean, you got to believe the riff raff, right? All right, let's go take a look. FDX for a short, says Hertz. I'm going to do this one as the last one here. FDX. Ooh, FedEx. Doesn't look good. One thing we've talked about before is FedEx got into this shadow zone, eventually got above that. We were looking at that back here to see if we were going to pop in there. We did, and it has not been able to hold those gains. It's rejected significantly off of that 255 almost every time. Now, one thing that I'd say about this one is that you got to be careful with this one because it likes to have a big range. I personally would like to have gotten short probably around that 255, and so it's kind of hard to attack it here. For me, the only way I could attack it here is if I go into a shorter time frame. I got to go into the 1 hour. And so if we go into the 1 hour, we can see a trend line here. I'm going to actually pull that up towards this candle here. So you see that candle, that's going to be the third dot. So 1, 2, 3, that creates it a trend line. You don't want to see it get back above that level. Let's say it gets tested up here towards 233.41s. It's okay if it gets towards 232, but not above that 233.40s. And you want to see it kind of come back and take out the lows. Of course, this is going to be an important level at 226.97, which are these lows. If it comes back through there, it could just flush on through. One more, says Zen. I'll get one more since Zen was pushing so hard in the chat. FDX shaking, bringing home the bacon stock. Yeah, that's taking stock for the judge of the overall market, and that doesn't look the best there. So I hope that doesn't look that good there. I hope it gets better there, to tell you the truth. Macy's was one that I wanted to take a look at today. They did have a better than retail sales, so I was wondering if this was going to pop on up today. It kind of faded, then came back. Look at that comeback and look at the volume at the close here. I'm going to point this out because you could see a big pop tomorrow. So it looks to me like there was some buy imbalance there in Macy's. So take an eye out tomorrow for this to kind of fulfill. So you saw that kind of wash on out here through the low. Now we're going to look for a push towards 26.45. I'd call that out tomorrow. If we get that, I'll take a look at that on live trading. Who knows? Maybe I land a trade on Macy's. All right, guys, it's going to do it for us. Hit that like button for me. Support us as we keep trying to grow here, right here on Money Mitch. Like always, we're going to keep doing live trading with Benzinga. This is going to be my last show of the week because I'm going to be at the ETH conference in Denver. So if you guys want to go ahead and check that out, definitely tell you, get on over to Denver, guys. Let's go talk some cryptocurrency. We're going to do some Ethereum. We're going to check out some NFTs, learn a little bit about the metaverse. You guys know I've been digging into it, trying to learn more and more to bring it to you guys out there. So definitely smash the like, and I'll keep growing like you guys. And like always, guys, we'll see if we can get it. But
I love gold.
gold, I say gold. Let's keep going.